Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lydia here with your full moon reading in Pisces and lunar eclipse reading for September 17th, 2024. And oh my goodness, I am over the top excited to show you my newest baby. I just have published or printed my own, self-published basically, my own oracle card deck. And I know I haven't alluded to it in the past readings, but I'm so excited. I wanted to show you the sample deck that I have. And I know that the retail decks are going to be coming shortly, but we have a little bit of ironing out to do in the sample deck before everything gets printed. So I just wanted to show you the reveal. This is the Take Back Your Power Oracle Guidance card deck. And I've got 44 cards in here. My name's on here. I'm so excited. And my artist, Amanda Parker, is amazing. So I got to show you. I have to show you this. We're going to be reading from it. The deck is beautiful. I'm just going to open this up because I'm going to give you a little reveal. And that's the inside. It's basically reminding you that you are way more than you think you are. So I had to put that in. I've always said that for everybody. We are definitely more than our body suit. So I've always said that. And I've got the guidance book as well. So at the back, I wanted to show you, this is me. I'm so excited. So I wanted to show you that this says, harness the power of your emotional energy to live a life of joy and abundance. And I'm going to read the back for you so that you know what the card deck is about. This card deck accesses messages from spirit that helps channel your emotional energy and guide you in your life purpose. Each card's beautifully illustrated. Of course, I'm slightly biased with that, but you know, that's what it is. And offers gentle cosmic advice to align your focus back to a self-empowered, authentic state. The affirmations, so I have affirmations with every card presented, with each message gives the opportunity to view your circumstances from a higher perspective and can be recited daily to help you remember just how powerful you really truly are. Your emotions can help in manifesting a peaceful and abundant life as you work through any challenging circumstances you may be facing. These cards were created to remind you of the power emotional energy can have in your life and give you guidance in taking back your power. And so that is what my card deck is about. I have several different ways you could read the deck, and I've got just giving you a little tidbit of basically what's in here. So I will show you the cards as well. The back of the cards, I'm just so proud of them. So the back of the cards kind of mimic everything that I'm all about. It's the galaxy, space, universe, and universe synonymous for me is with spirit, with God, with great spirit, source, creator, whatever you want to say. That's the background for me. And I love them. I mean, the nautical shell is also my brand. I've got the shell which represents infinity, represents God, represents the creativity, the passion, everything that the inner parts that we have within is representing as the divine. So anything divine within us is in the circular pattern plus as a Fibonacci sequence, which is located in everything you see out there. This is infinity. This is the universe. So that's my cards, and I'm so proud to see the beautiful gilding that has been done on the side too, the silver gilding. So I really, really love it. Of course, like I said, I'm biased. It's not going to agree with everybody, but hey, whatever. You just take it for what it is. I'm going to read from the guidebook for the cards that I have there. Plus, I'm also reading from the Moonology deck. So that's by Yasmin Boland. So she's kind of like my go-to because she does everything moon oriented. So we're going to be having 2 cards from my deck and 2 cards from her deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead here. That was my little promo. So boy, I'll tell you, with this lunar eclipse, and now we're going to be having a solar eclipse in October, early October. I think it was the 3rd and 4th in October, somewhere around there, depending upon where you are in the world. Oh my goodness, the energies are starting to ramp up. They are affecting us physically, by the way, as well. If you haven't seen that or you haven't figured that out, it is definitely, if you're very sensitive to it, just to prepare you in the next few weeks or so, just be prepared for unexpected things to happen, whether it is physically, emotionally, mentally. I don't want to say spiritually, because our spirit is starting to jettison. So in that sense, yeah, there's going to be some things that are just going to floor you, but it's amazing, it's brilliant, it's magical. So you're going to see our spiritual consciousness, that consciousness that has been kind of suppressed for such a long period of time, just jettison within now until the spring of next year. Not only am I saying this, but there are channelers all over the planet that are saying the same thing. So keep this in mind. And I think because all of us can channel, every last one of us has this ability. We all have the capability of knowing whether or not we are moving forward or not. There's certain things that we may see, whether it's inner seeing, our sixth sense or metaphysical senses seeing, or actual physical senses seeing in this next little while. And they're going to start to amplify. Like this is the beginning of the new earth, the new us, the new consciousness. And just in the same balancing state, we have the duality that is out there too. So those that are key players in the duality are also going to be kicking back. So astrologically, we have a lot of planetary adjustments or aspects that are playing a role at this time too, with everything that is going on. Expect the earth, Mother Earth, to also be upgrading, but also in upheaval, because we are within too. We are all shifting. Dare I say that in the next 4 to 5 months, we are going through probably the toughest time that we've gone through in a very long time. So whether it is through illness, through aches and pains, through emotional upheaval and rising up and down. And this is a really, really important time period to drop into your heart, to be in connection with spirit as much as you can every single day. Try to meditate. I know I'm also trying to do that as well too. Get lots of rest and lots of water, as much as you possibly can, to be able to, within your limits, but basically just try as much as you can. When you feel you're tired, take it, because your body is adjusting. And there will be a time, I would say there will be a time that we're going to start to feel that crystalline structure within us that's going to break free and just open up. And at that point, there's going to be not only the feeling of peacefulness, but also this physical release that's just, oh, okay, we're out of this, this density of the body, the dense part of the body. I don't know about you. I've been feeling heavy lately, and it feels as though gravity is just pulling me down. The rest of me is probably doing the same thing too. So anyways, I don't want to look in the mirror at this point, but just saying, it feels heavy. It feels really, the air is heavy. It might feel a little bit heavier as we go towards the solar eclipse as well in October, excuse me, and in October as well, between now and then, because of the moons. This is a super moon as well. So feeling as though, or the moon itself appears that it's closer. So it's very large. It's very important. Its aspects are also aligning with some of the other astrological or celestial bodies. And I encourage you to go and take a look at some of your best astrology friends online and just check what they have to say about what the alignments are, because it's very important. The way things are at the moment, we are over the top with all things physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, because our spiritual bodies are increasing in consciousness. So with that, let's have a look at what we've got. And I am going to, like I said, I'm going to read through the guidebooks for the 2 sets of cards, because I think they're important at this time. So my first card is Prison. Okay. So it's an ominous card. I know, but the colors are gorgeous. But if you notice, there's a head that's just static, and it's like, oh, I can't get out of this. However, the door is opened in this cage and the key is right there. So what this is really representing is that we sometimes have this ability to put ourselves in our own mental prison. And when we do that, we don't see anything else. It's we're not able to actually open our eyes to other opportunities. And so what I'm going to read through prison here and basically give you an indication of what we can do, especially when it comes to the affirmation that comes in afterwards. So the act of being in prison is one of our own making. As beings made from source, we come from a place where no confinements exist, where love allows each of us to be sovereign and free. When we find ourselves in a place where we have lost hope, faith, confidence, or joy, we have placed ourselves into a prison known only to us. The flow of divine energy has been restricted and, if kept in this matter, may stifle us to a point of depression and low worth. And that's something that I think over time we've done this, excuse me, and a lot of times for ourselves. We know what it feels like. This type of prison is not something which we see in the physical plane. It is one in our mind that entraps our perception of reality and leads us to feel small and inconsequential. If we find ourselves in this state, we can call on spirit or to others around us for help. If we remain with this restrictive energy flow and low perceptual quality of ourself, we may lose focus on the purpose of our incarnation and may need to rediscover that purpose through reincarnation, returning to continue the purpose in the next life. As co-creators with spirit, though, we are so much more powerful than we believe. If we allow the flow of divine energy to carry us, carry us out of this confinement, we will be shown opportunities beyond our comprehension. Allow for your life to be full of potential. Treat each life as one with a freedom to love, to dream, and to simply be, loving the self you are expressing in this lifetime. Do not take the challenges of life too seriously. Too seriously. Laugh, play, feel joys in small things. Be at one with nature and with spirit, and you will taste the elixir of life that allows peace to be within the mind and heart always. And something to say. So my affirmations are for anybody who wants to just write them down on a sticky note and put them where you see, where you're around a very high traffic place for you every single day. And this way, if you find that you're in this prison, like you're feeling that you're in this prison, then this is an affirmation you can say every single day to get you out of it until you actually feel you're pushing yourself through that energy. So I release myself from any perceived weaknesses and free my mind and heart from any prison I have kept them in. I acknowledge that life is to be experienced and allow the joys of purpose to flow through me effortlessly and lovingly. I accept my worth and free myself from any burdens that could bring me down into the pits of despair. I love myself and accept joy into my life now. So the way I see this in this circumstance, excuse me, the way I see this is basically there's some of us that have a little bit more to let go of. So there's a bit of karmic resolution that we have to let go of. And this is the time to do it. This is probably either we are doing this willingly, letting it go, or forcibly letting it go. Because at this point, this is crunch time. Quite honestly, this is crunch time. The universe is not like most of the consciousness that is on this planet is rising, including the consciousness of Mother Earth. So really, it is the consciousness of Mother Earth that is rising and actually getting us to rise as well. That said, it's going to be a bumpy ride, a really bumpy ride, if you're not willing to release certain things, if you're not willing to actually allow for letting go, for forgiving. Forgiving is important. Forgetting we never do, right? Well, we might, but for all circumstances that we've gone through, we're the type of being that doesn't normally forget, right? And we also record everything in our Akashic records. So we're not going to ever forget it, but we can forgive those that are involved and the circumstances. And this is the perfect time to do it because it's the full moon. It's at this time we're being encouraged to let go of anything that doesn't serve us anymore. And what that means is, is there anything that we have basically been ruminating upon, that we've been making ourselves sick or making ourselves stressed out by continually thinking about it, whether it is a circumstance, drama within your family, your friends, situation, your workplace? Is it actually to do with one person or group of people? Let that go. That stuff does not need to be in there. It's crap. It's stuff that just needs to be literally put in the toilet and flushed. So let that go. Let the feelings, let the emotional energy from that is attached to that to let go, to be let go. And that opens up the newness. It opens up the possibility for bringing in other energies. It keeps you neutral and it allows you to open up your new potentials for other opportunities to come in. That could be resources from other people or new relationships that are necessary to help you upon your life path. The other thing about prison is we will be seeing possibly another attempt to control. So top-down control, whether it's the powers that are trying to control will attempt again, and I can guarantee it's they're backed into a corner because there's a whole lot more of us than there is them, and we definitely have. It's the time for humanity. It's the time for humanity to run, to show the power, to take back the power that human beings have, and within us we have the divine. So the divine is because of the rise in consciousness, the divine is actually governing the movements and the thought patterns of the human beings. So this may not be everybody, right? At this moment, everybody's at a different level. So having said that, what this is, it's going to be a difficult time. They're going to try to put us into a prison. And this is the capability that we have to allow us to be able to whether take it or leave it. And it is our choice. It is our choice. Every last one of us has a choice as to whether or not we will allow ourselves to be controlled or not. And when you take back that control, you take back that divine power you have, you will never be controlled by anybody else. Ever. You will never think about it as that way. As divine beings, we're always, always free. Just keeping that in mind. Not living in fear. Prison also brings us into this fearful thought pattern. This is where let go of the fears. Try as hard as you can, especially if they're unconscious fears, I suppose. and I want to say this because basically I still have a little bit of a fear of heights. I'm sure that's things from the past, or I get vertigo being on heights or certain things, certain areas, certain geographical areas. I kind of feel that I don't want that anymore. I want to be free. I want to be open and whatever. So I'm basically going to be focusing on that. That's one of my major things. Also have a fear of wasps. So I'd have to say fear because I have been stung before and I had a reaction. I don't want that to happen again. And when you're at a certain level, you can live harmoniously with those type of beings. So that is where I'm striving to be, and that's what I'm trying to kind of work towards. So having said that, that's prison. That's something that we're going to see some consequences that might be interacting with what we've seen in the past, what we've put ourselves in our own mental prison before. We might see those circumstances come back for us to get out of it, to step out of the cage. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Spirituality. Isn't she beautiful? I'm sorry, I'm biased. So the way I see this is that our spirituality, our capabilities of being spiritual, being attached or not attached, but rather aligned with the divine, are increasing. And this is something that we can always be is spiritual, is aligned with the divine and keeping in connection with the divine. So I'm going to read spirituality, and we'll see what the affirmation says as well for you, because it might actually be very, I have a feeling it might be very pertinent for some of you. So spirituality. Spirituality is a concept that applies to the human journey to return to divine grace. It can be defined as our motivation in life to follow a divine path, one of compassion, love, peace, harmony, kindness, and internal balance, and is that foundation of what drives our passion towards greatness. Our true spirituality lies within, as an inner compass, directing us on the path where experiences, both pleasant and challenging, enrich our lives. It is enhanced when we live an authentic life and recognize that we are unified as one in the eyes of spirit. And that's something that we are becoming more and more of, is recognizing that we are one in the eyes of spirit. When we lose faith in ourselves through fear or when facing difficult situations, spirituality may bring us back upon our desired path by nudging us in the right direction. This may be through receiving epiphanies at the right time, communicating our needs to spirit, or through the aid of others. It is our connection with all that is that allows us to return to feeling supported and assured that we are on the right path, have purpose, and will be nourished with abundance throughout our lives. You are an empowered being of light. A spirit is eternally within you. Maintain a spiritual path through open and continuous communication with spirit, giving gratitude for the help and gentle guidance. Allow meditation, intention, or prayer to aid you when you are feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges, and seek others for support should you feel lost. And so here's the affirmation. I choose to believe that my path is supported and in co-creation with spirit. I recognize the innate desire to return to grace and that there is a universal oneness with all around me. I know that spirituality can assist me to return to my path should I feel that I have gone astray. And for those who are feeling lost, this is something to move into. It's not forcing you. This is not excuse me. This is not trying to force you into, any manner of trying to, or any religion or anything like that. Religion has nothing to do with it, actually, in this case. This is your connection, your internal connection with God, with, for those who are Christian, Jesus, for those who are feeling that they need a little bit of extra help throughout this time. And especially, we're going to go through some internal ups and downs, some external ups and downs. And we need to realize that we're not alone on this. Everyone around you that is whether they're your tribe or actually you find a new set of people that are your tribe, that are around you, you're going to be going through this together. And just to know that you're not alone, ever alone. So let's continue on. We've got the Moonology deck now, the messages that we're going through with Yasmin Boland. So here's this. Moonlit, embrace uncertainty. Oh my goodness. Now, we are going through some very, if you want to call it, uncertain times. Man, I'll tell you, there's a couple words that have been oversaid, shall I say, over the last 4 years or so. Unprecedented and uncertain. Why anyways, I hate those words. I just can't stand them because you know what? We're not supposed to know. In a lot of ways, we are not supposed to know what is happening. We can mess things up when we do that. So in this case, it's saying embrace uncertainty because of the fact that we're going to be going through something that we've never ever gone through as humanity over the last 26,000 years. That's pretty potent. I mean, no, we can't see the future for all intents and purposes. Yes, we could see some immediate future. We can have some intuition about what's coming up. And that's definitely something that all channelers and everybody has that capability of doing. You get that feeling. That's your intuition. The uncertainty is the potentials that could be coming up. Because once we focus on something, once we finally decide, it all depends on decisions too. Once we finally decide upon something, now we hone in on a potential and we create that potential into a physical form in this reality at this time, in this reality. So what we're moving towards is something that is not necessarily, we might not have a delay in between that. So we need to also hone our feelings towards that of compassion and love and harmony and balance. It's important to do that because in the next realm that we exist, or dimension, whatever you want to call it, consciousness, there's no room for hatred or disrespect or unbalance or hurt or pain or not being compassionate towards one another. This is the time to focus on it, to be able to gather that part within you. And sometimes it'll be difficult. I know that within the next little while, it might be difficult because you're going through something as well. It might make you irritable because that's what we do. You know what? Sometimes we are just irritable. We easily anger, and that's especially with the full moon or the new moon because our energies are high, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. So heck, we've got like 2 to 3 months of pretty much being irritable if we want to be. So we don't know what's going to happen. And I think what moonlit means is we're seeing the light that's coming, that we're seeing that there is light ahead. And we know that that's going to happen. But we don't know exactly what the situation is going to be. And that's actually a very good thing. So let me have a look at moonlit and see where that plays a role in our lives, especially right now. So a moonlit night might be beautiful, but it makes it hard to really see what's going on if you need to. Under very gentle moonlight, we simply can't see exactly what's going on around us. If we go out into the night and the moon is in the early stages of the waxing cycle or the late stages of the waning cycle, there isn't much illumination offered. And that's either basically going towards a new moon or after a new moon. If this card comes up for you, it suggests that you don't yet know the full story around whatever question you're asking. It could simply be that someone else involved in your situation still isn't clear on what they do or don't want, so they can't tell you. And that's fine too. If you don't know what you want, that leaves the opening for potential. So there's good things involved with that. Deception may be at play, which can bring up a lot of anxiety and even fear. And that's what's going on. That will be what, or if anything is and will be what's going on outside in the world. Deception. But we can cut through that. Allow your intuition to move and to move you through things, and you'll cut through that. All is not lost, though. Remember, the moon goes in phases, and even if there isn't much light around your situation right now, in the fullness of time, everything will be clarified and illuminated, and you'll learn what you need to know. That will ultimately be healing for you and everyone else. And that's to me, that is actually showing us or telling us, in a sense, it's actually taking away that uncertainty as to what's coming up. There is something coming up. Just that alone is certainty enough. So that said, about this particular symbol, remember beautiful moonlight is the reflection of the yang sun on the yin moon. Keep that in mind. It's a combination of the masculine and feminine energies. So this is something to definitely say that moonlight has both. So yang sun is the male side and the yin moon is the female side, or basically the energies that are involved in each. That's why we have balance. We've got the sun, the male or the masculine energies during the daytime, and at night we'll have the female or feminine energies. So we have this balance. We've had this balance ever since the dawn of time, as far as I know. So that in particular is also showing us, if we look into the symbology of this, we are starting to become more and more in balance. And that also allows us to become, and as we're moving more and more into the Aquarian age, this is also allowing us to tap into that feminine energy side, which also brings out the compassion, and because the full moon is in Pisces, which is very dreamy and very much compassionate and creative. This is also a creative time where we're recognizing that they're all working together to bring us in harmony and balance. You're not going to see much of that, or you're not going to recognize it if you look into the world right now. But just know this, wherever there is a dark side, wherever there's something that is happening and it's really crappy, then there's always got to be something good that is happening at the same time. That is what the duality of this planet is about. So, or this realm. We have both sides happening at the same time. What are you going to be focusing on? So that's something to keep in mind. So taking this and knowing that there's potentials for anything to happen. Anything can happen. Anything. So, and that actually goes in line with some of the astrology. So take a look at that. Anything can happen. What you can do is at least embrace the fact that change is normal. Change, and in fact, even more so now than ever before. So keep this in mind, keeping the fact that everything is uncertain or is not in plain sight, but work with the now. Work with the moment, the present moment. And when you do, then you can actually see a lot more. Thinking about standing in one spot, you can actually see, you can have a 360 view if you stand in that one spot. If you are walking, you have some things moving around in your peripheral vision and you can see ahead, but you can't see behind you. So in the present moment, you can turn around in a circle. I mean, if you're walking, you could do the same thing. It's just an analogy, basically, to say that you can see a lot more when you're in that present moment. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So let's go on to the last card here. New moon beginnings. Oh my goodness, look at this. Okay, so I love this card. I'm just going to put this up there. Beautiful, beautiful tigers, and you've got this very confident woman that is standing there. New moon beginnings. Now, I wanted to show you that in particular just because of the fact that we are finishing a cycle and we're about to begin a new one at the end of September. This is very key. That is, I believe this is going to bring in more and more confidence of where we are going. It might actually allow us to see beyond what the potential is and what we're able to what we're walking into, what the new situation, new realm is going to be like. Having said that, new beginnings also can be within you, so that there could be people that are actually crossing over. There could be new things that are coming up. There could be, so for example, cycles of, I'm getting some legal documents or legal things that might actually just be terminating or finishing, and then new things are starting to crop up, or it could be happening at the same time that you have something on the go, and something new comes in to give you a different perspective. So I do believe that the beginnings of the inklings, the new beginnings of things that will show us a different and much more beneficial perspective is part of this new moon as well. So let me just find the new moon here and basically just let you know what's coming up, because I have a big feeling that this is going to kind of give us some specifics on for some people that it'll resonate with. You might feel as though you've been wrestling with your current issues for far too long, but drawing this card suggests otherwise. This is another thing too. If you've been going through a lot of, say, physical stuff, then this might actually be the termination of that too. I'm just praying for that for everyone. In fact, the message of this card is that you're somehow at the start of a new cycle with regard to life in general, or any specific dilemma you're inquiring about. And so this, I mean, it's a really good card for that. Either your story is just beginning, or the situation you're asking about is old, but you're starting a new chapter. This is a very positive card, and overall it suggests that you're headed in the right direction. But there are no guarantees that it's the direction you originally had in mind. That follows suit with the card prior to. Now it's the time for courage and strength, which also goes into the very first card that I said, prison. You can make your dreams come true if you believe in them, and if they're what your higher self knows is best for you on your journey. And guaranteed, if you follow your higher self and your intuition, which is your higher self, you'll be golden. Now is the time to make the effort toward whatever you want to achieve, knowing that you have the moon's support. Think about what you want to attract in your life and take steps toward it. So in my opinion, this is basically something that is so telltaling for letting you know that you should be following your intuition a whole lot more. And in fact, because of the naturalness of our consciousness raising, we're going to start to recognize our intuition and follow through with that. And our intuition is going to guide us into recognizing new beginnings in our lives. things that are ready to be let go of. Like I said, we have to let go of things. We just do. And forgive, let go, accept in some cases, but don't accept things that are going to push the boundaries on your personal boundaries. If you need to, look into that and make sure that whatever it is that you're accepting is not going to be at your risk, right? Your benefit, not your risk. So about this symbol, the new moon is the start of the lunar cycle and brings with it fresh energy. Embody courage and strength and you'll be unstoppable. And we have strength. We've built a lot of courage throughout our lives. And I guess I could say probably the potential of every incarnation that we've ever had. So the courage is there. The strength has always been there. So keeping that in mind, let's look at these things. Let's look at what we have in front of us for the next little while. We have prison. So the first part is the fact that we can take ourselves out of our prison if we've got our own personal mental prison that we've put ourselves into, and especially to bring out the courage and the strength that is it requires courage and strength to actually get yourself out of the prison. So that's, and the way to do that is hold gratitude as well as like while you are letting go of things. If you're holding gratitude for every challenge and every good thing that's happened to you, you are going to step out of that prison. Also know that you always have the help of spirit and the help of others that you trust. So keeping that in mind, let's go to spirituality is part of the part that we are aligned with the divine. So that means you can ask the divine, you can ask your helpers, which could be angels and archangels, ascended masters. You can ask these individuals to help you to get out of certain things, or to help you through challenging circumstances. If you find yourself that you're lost, you're in fear, you're doubting things that are happening, move back to the meditation, to talking and communicating with spirit or those non-physical beings that are your guides. So that also helps to take you out of the prison. Then we've got moonlit, embrace uncertainties, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening, not only for the, like internally, personally, but definitely in the worldwide situation, the global situations that will be completely off the cuff. You have no idea what's going to happen, but take it as it goes. Stay in the present moment. Prepare if you need to, right? Prepare if you need to, but basically remember that it's part of the game. Change is part of the game. So keeping that in mind, then we're also going to be seeing way more new beginnings of different things, letting go of certain things that could be holding us back from our life purpose path and or ascension. We're now going to be seeing new beginnings or the inklings of this shift, this great grand shift at this time. So, wow, is it going to be an amazing time period. So knowing that we are at a lunar eclipse today as well, and today being the 17th, actually, when I'm doing this, it's a very important day. I'm sure that beforehand and shortly afterwards, we're still going to be feeling this energy because we're also going to be going towards a solar eclipse in the next few weeks or so. So that's the potentials for these eclipses and how they affect us is off the charts, especially right now, especially if you're sensitive to the celestial alignments and also for eclipses in general. And the energies can be very amplified even up to 6 months to half a year or a year before. So we're constantly in this sensitivity and we're getting more and more sensitive to the situations. Personally, I can tell you that new beginnings are happening. This is the tweaking of things that we're needing to let go of. We're here to embrace what is about to happen and not to get so caught up in the drama of what the global things, what's happening in the globe. Be very discerning about what you see and use your intuition. Start to hone your intuition skills, your intuitive skills, because this is where it'll guide you throughout the next while. I mean, it's going to guide you throughout the rest of your life, and it's going to amplify as well. So keep that in mind too. Talk with spirit, Rest when you need. This is definitely a time for self-care as well, because things are adjusting, moving up, adjusting, moving up, adjusting. And so it's a lot that's going to be happening too. But I'll touch more on that in the next video, in the new moon video that I have coming up. And I just wanted to let you know, thank you so much for being the audience of my excitement with my new deck that's here. I'm so excited for it. And I will be doing, I'll be probably looking into the pre-sales in the next video. So we'll look into that too, and I'll provide a link below if you need to, if you would like to purchase a deck. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful full moon. Get out there and see a lunar eclipse if you're able to. And just keep in mind that things are getting real. So, and visit my website if you're able to to sign up for a newsletter. I've got a weekly newsletter. It's free. It comes in your email, and basically it'll give you a channeling of what's coming up in the next week. So my website's takebackyourpower.live or live. So takebackyourpower.live, and like or subscribe to this video if you haven't yet. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.